This week in our Excel groups, we're going to learn a new purpose that drives our mission to introduce people to Christ so they will introduce them to others. And that new purpose is shepherding the flock. Now, what do we mean by shepherd? If you go to John chapter 18, verse 37, Jesus is standing before Pilate, and they get in this really kind of, the Bible gives the story, the conversation between these two guys pretty quickly, but it's a pretty deep and intense conversation where Pilate asks, the question. He goes, "Truth, what is truth?" That's a really deep line, right? Truth, what is truth? And the reason he said that is because Jesus said that the reason he came was to speak truth, and that everybody that's on the side of truth is on the side of Jesus. And then in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 15, Paul says that the church is the pillar and the foundation of truth. So when we talk about shepherding the flock, what we mean is we want to guide people to the absolute truth that is Jesus Christ. People need to be growing deeper and understanding more of the truth that is all about Jesus. So when we talk about the truth, we're talking about getting deeper and deeper into our faith. And so we shepherd, we walk, we go and we guide people, including ourselves, deeper and deeper into that understanding of the truths of God. So we've got these three core values which really speak well to the idea of shepherding, of guiding people in the truth, because since that was Jesus' mission while he was on earth, according to John 18, it should also be the mission of the church, to guide people, to walk along with people in pursuit of truth. So these three core values, what are they? They are say it like it is, which that's a fun one. We'll talk about that. Little things matter, and perfect, not legalistic. So what do we mean by that? Well, say it like it is, it's exactly what it sounds like. We want to be honest and upfront with people, and we want to teach that to our people. Now, that doesn't mean, you have to be mean about it, but on the other hand, we don't ever want diplomacy to be the altar that we sacrifice truth on. So there's going to be times where you might be sitting in a service and I say something that is going to be uncomfortable for you, because you may not be living according to the truth. And there might be times where you say something to me that really convicts me and breaks me down because what you said was true. And so I need to be guided in that truth, even though it may not be comfortable. But it's more important that we say it like it is, that we speak the truth in love, but we say it like it is without neglecting the truth. So that's what we need to do. Say it like it is. Now, the other two core values are pretty closely related. Little things matter and perfect, not legalistic. What we mean by little things matter is little things that are in your life, they matter. I love sniper movies, and that's kind of weird, right? But I really love sniper movies, and in all the good sniper movies, they talk about, we have to take into account the curvature of the earth and the humidity and the direction of the wind and all of this stuff. That's all true, and the reason they have to take those little details into account is because little things change the trajectory of the bullet for that sniper. And the same is true for our lives as Christians. How we act and how we behave with the little things in our lives affects the trajectory of where we're going in our faith. So little things matter. That's why Jesus said, "You've been faithful with a few things, with small things, with little things, so you will be faithful with much." So we want to teach our people, and we want to teach ourselves that little things matter. Be faithful and be diligent in the little things in your life. The words that you say, the interactions that you have with people, how you drive. Every little thing, all of these little things matter. And if you're faithful, if you practice being faithful in the little things, then you'll already be ready and equipped to be faithful for the big things that come along in your life. Now, the next core value, which is closely related to this, is perfect, not legalistic. All it means is that we want our people to strive for perfection. Now, it's the definition of perfection is simple. It's Jesus. We just want our people to be more and more like Jesus. Now, we understand that nobody is perfect, that nobody is going to be perfect while they're on this earth. So we get that you are not going to be perfect. But that's still the goal that we're going for. We're still shooting and striving to be more and more like Jesus. So as we're pushing and we're trying to be more like Jesus, we want people to join along with us and to also be more like Jesus so we can really change this community. But we're also not going to beat people over the heads with legalism. So as we're trying to be perfect and more like Christ, we're not going to make all of these rules and these extra regulations that we force on people, and they get buried down in the legalism of Christianity. And that's just wrong. Christianity is not about following rules. It's about following a person, and that person is Jesus. So if we're going to follow Jesus, we need to be like Jesus. And since Jesus is perfect, we need to be as close to perfect as we can be, using him as our definition for perfection. So that's what it means to be, for us as a church, to strive to be perfect, not legalistic. So it's kind of a tension that has to be managed, but it's one of these things that we really need to understand, that if we're really striving to be perfect, as in more like Christ, and if we're really striving to be faithful with the little things in our lives, and if we're not afraid to speak truth into people's lives, to say it like it is, and what we'll do is we will grow in the truths of the faith. We will grow in our relationship with Christ, and as we grow, we'll be better equipped to introduce people to Christ so they will introduce him to others.